Welcome to Climate Bytes, an easy way to take 5 minutes to learn about the climate emergency. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to be notified when we post a video. So today we're talking to Alexander Lee, teacher, lawyer, and activist. Hi, welcome, Alexander.
Hey, it's great to be here. Nice to see you, Angela.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too. What do you have for us today?
Well, when I was an undergraduate at Middlebury College, I started this organization as part of the environmental group. We introduced right to dry legislation in 11 states, or saw 11 states pass right to dry legislation.
Right to
Because
dry. What is right to dry? Can you explain that?
so it's a pun, of course, on the right to die, but there are about 20% of Americans living in community associations, which is trailer parks and gated communities and shishi condominiums and
Yeah.
all range of different housing types that are where people sign a contract when they move in. And the contract in small print usually says you can't hang out your clothes or has some severe restriction on where you can hang your clothes. What happens is that we have designed our housing stock in the United States, unlike the country that I'm in now, to not have balconies, to not allow line drying. And it's a significant percentage of residential energy use and commercial energy use.
Wow. Do you have any idea how much of a energy use it is?
It was about 6% of residential energy use, 5.9% of residential energy use, according to the RECS from the Department of Energy, which is the residential energy survey, community survey. So it was about 6% of residential energy use. But I always disputed that number because that doesn't include laundromats or
Right.
the shared washing machine in your hallway in a multifamily housing unit, because that would be commercial. And they don't break out the commercial drying as a separate bucket.
Wow.
So we don't really know, but we know that prisons and hospitals do a ton of laundry, and that commercial establishments, hotels, restaurants produce and use a tremendous amount of energy to wash clothes.
Wow.
And then there's all the, the laundromats. So
Yeah.
that 6% number isn't really representative.
I personally line dry all my clothes. I prefer it because I think it's better for my clothes. I never thought of it as an environmental act to do this. Why do you feel like it's important for the environment and the world for people to stop using their dryers?
Well, your clothes, as you have mentioned to me before, last longer when you don't put them in the dryer. And I used to ask, where do you think lint comes from?
Hmm.
And basically, when you're cleaning out your lint filter, you're cleaning out your clothes, which are
Oh,
falling apart in the dryer.
that's
Um,
terrible.
so,
Oh my God. I never
uh,
thought of it like that.
so we worked with Levi's, and they worked with Goodwill Industries, and we changed the label to say cold water wash, line dry, and give your old clothes to Goodwill.
Wow, that is amazing.
So the 501 label changed first, and then they slowly, gradually, I think, have changed out a lot of the other labels, which is really, a big step. Levi's is a real leader in terms of trying to reduce their water usage in particular, because so much of producing cotton is water intensive. But they did a study, a life cycle study of their blue jeans, and more than half of the water was after the purchase because of how many times people wash them.
Wow. Wow. So not only just not using the dryer, but also using cold water for washing.
That was one of the things that really changed while I was running Project Laundry List, and not really due to us. The ACCC, which is a huge nonprofit energy efficiency organization in the United States, together with the Clinton Initiative and Procter and Gamble, which owns Tide, did this major change in what products they were pushing. They started pushing cold water detergent, and for the whole time before that, the 10 years that I ran Project Laundry List before that big effort, it was like you were arguing with homespun wisdom about people's grandmother telling them that the only way to clean the clothes and get them really clean and get the germs killed was to use hot water. And you couldn't argue against that without a huge corporate advertising campaign. And they really changed and shifted a lot of patterns in the United States so that more and more people are really cold water washing now. So that was a big change in the amount of energy that gets used on clothes.
So what can people do in their own lives to make a difference in this area?
There's a whole array of different activities that are often lumped together as the behavior wedge. And so there's a ton of things that people can do beyond cold water washing and line drying with their clothes. They can fully inflate their car tires so that they get better mileage in their cars. There's dozens of things like that. So there's just so much that we can do with behavior. But obviously, the big changes need to happen at the corporate level, and you need to get off fossil fuel.
That's right, but definitely washing your clothes in cold water and hanging them up to dry as opposed to putting them into the dryer is a big step in the right direction to have a more climate-friendly washing cycle.
And they smell better. I mean, the smell of fresh air.
That is true. That is true.
They last longer. It's good exercise. It's probably faster.
That's true. You can hang your clothes up and
there's
forget
this sort of perception that it's slow and because it takes longer for them to dry, but it's less time. And then you don't have to spend time earning money to buy a machine that is essentially turning electricity back into heat, which is how electricity starts. It's a fundamentally inefficient machine.
Yeah, and the other thing, another bonus for hanging your clothes that most people don't think about is you don't have to iron. If you hang your clothes up properly, you don't have to iron. Well, this is a great idea for people to do, to hang up their clothes, save money on electricity, because right now electricity is going off the scale with the pricing is because of the various international situations going on. And in general, we want to use less electricity and we want to be more efficient. So thank you so much for coming on and talking with us.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks for sharing some time with me.
All right, we'll have some links down at the bottom. And also, remember, we're not saving the planet, we're saving our own lives. So we'll see you next time on Climate Bytes.